Got the littlest one. Howdy there, and welcome to Bullets for Bucks. My name's Steven, and today we're going to compare the Sako S20 against the Tikka T3x Super Light. Let's start with the Sako. The Sako features a soft, about 1-inch thick butt pad. It has spacer system right here so you can adjust length of pull. Has flush cups on both sides of the stock. Push button adjustable comb height, which is really cool and nice to see. And then it has a very flat M-lock slot and then it has a flat buttstock on the bottom and a M-lock slot for mounting a monopod. Nice cutout right here. Almost a 90-degree grip. Pretty large palm swell and some texturing for grip. It has a Torx head screw on the top and the bottom, so you can actually remove this buttstock, swap it out with a thumb hole buttstock, or take it down for traveling purposes so you can store it in a shorter length. Features an all mini aluminum chassis inside the stock, and then the outer is a polymer shell. Features a removable single stack magazine that is polymer, and it has a push tab release at the front. Very nice magazine system, works well. Has a plastic trigger guard, plastic bottom metal, fully adjustable trigger. I believe it adjusts down to about 2 to 2.5 pounds. It's a single stage trigger, but you can get it in 2-stage. Extremely crisp, clean trigger with little to no over travel creep. And it actually can adjust forward and backwards for length of pull, which is really cool. And then you have the Sako receiver that has a slot in the front and the back that fit into the mini chassis, and that's the bedding system on this. A integral 0 MOA Picatinny rail for the base for the scope. I would have liked to see that be 20 MOA. 60-degree bolt throw with a tactical bolt knob, side push button bolt release. Beautiful polished bolt. Has 3 locking lugs, plunger style ejector, Sako style extractor, and it can actually, the bolt handle is also removable so you can swap that out with different styles. And this thing runs like glass in this receiver. Has a 3-position safety all the way to the rear, locks the bolt in place. 1 forward, you can fire and manipulate the bolt. And then if you put it on safe, there's a little push button tab. You can push down on that, remove the bolt while still having it on safe. The receiver on this is Cerakoted as well as the barrel. This is 300 Win Mag. It features a 24-inch barrel that's straight fluted, fully free floated in the stock. This has M-lock at the end of the forend and 2 flush cups, as well as an M-lock piece further up. So plenty of mounting opportunity there on the forends, about a medium contour. And it's threaded 5/8 by 24. It does not come with a muzzle brake. This rifle comes in at overall length in this configuration of 47 inches and weighs 8.6 pounds. And this is the precision configuration. You can get it at a hunter configuration where it comes in a little bit lighter, but not a lot. Now, this is the Tikka T3x Super Light, and you're probably like, well, no, it's not. Well, it has an aftermarket stock on it, but we will be going over the factory stock so you can have that comparison. This is actually a GRS Fenris stock. But let's talk about the receiver and barrel. So this features a 1-action size receiver. It has a slot in the front instead of the front and the rear, unlike the Sako. And in that slot, there's a individual piece of metal that sits in a stock recess and then into the receiver. I don't like that bedding system. I feel like that could shift over time. Has a plastic push button bolt side release, single stage trigger that is adjustable down to 2.5-ish pounds. Extremely good trigger. Plastic bottom metal, and it comes with a single stack plastic magazine. It works fine, but I don't care for the plastic bottom metal. The Tikka has a regular, more traditional style bolt handle. It is removable though, and it has a 70-degree bolt throw. The safety, when locked to the rear, locks the bolt in place. When forward, you can fire and remove the bolt. It does not have the push button tab to remove the bolt well and safe like the Sako does. Removing the bolt, you can see the bolt design is extremely similar to the Sako, but it has 2 locking lugs instead of 3, plunger, ejector, and a Sako style extractor. And that's why this one's 70-degree bolt throw instead of 60 like the Sako. Runs basically identical as far as feel though. Very, very smooth. Maybe not quite as smooth, but very similar. This is actually a stainless steel receiver, and it doesn't come in black. This is painted on there. And then it has a 22 point, I believe 4 or 0.3 inch barrel that's straight fluted, and it is not threaded like the Sako is. This rifle comes in at a weight of only 5.9 pounds, so it's a much lighter configuration, but you can get this in several different models that are more comparable. All right, now let's take a look at the stock on this. The factory stock has about a 1-inch hard rubber butt pad, traditional comb, much slighter traditional angle in the palm area, and the palm swell isn't nearly as severe as the Sako. Has a sling swivel stud instead of flush cups at the rear. It's just got plastic and pillar bedding, not a metal mini chassis like the Sako has. And this is a spot bedding job I did. Don't pay attention to that. The stock itself, instead of being a mini chassis, is just fiber reinforced polymer. Feels and looks a lot cheaper. And then you have a sling swivel stud at the front, a little bit narrower fore-end grip here, pretty traditional. The barrel is fully free-floated in this stock though. All right, now that we've taken a look at some of the basic specifications of these rifles, let's head to the range and see how they perform. We're back from the range with the Sako S20 and the Tikka T3x. Let's go over some of the results. Both rifles are insanely, incredibly accurate. Fit, feel, and function is excellent. They feed, extract, eject flawlessly. Not a problem with either one of these rifles in my experience. As far as precision, fit, feel though, the Sako S20 precision obviously far superior, weighs a lot more, feels way better in the hand. Ergonomically feels a lot better. It's easier to mitigate felt recoil in 300 Win Mag comparably, and it has a takedown feature so you can remove the buttstock. Like that you can adjust the trigger blade. I feel like you can adjust the trigger a little bit lighter. The 60-degree throw versus 70-degree throw. Overall, just a better version essentially of the Tikka T3x. But if I was going on a backcountry mountain hunt, obviously, you're going to want the super light as it's a lot lighter. If you're going to go to the range, you're going to want the Sako S20 Precision. Overall, Tikka shoots extremely accurately, sub half MOA if I do everything right with factory ammunition. Fit, feel, and function's fine. Stock feels a little bit cheap. The bedding system I don't prefer as much as the Sako, but still works just fine. One thing to note with the Tikka is that obviously the Sako comes in at a lot higher price point than the Tikka. They're both made in the same factory in Finland. So that's something to take note of. You're probably like, well, in your videos, the Tikka shot more accurately. Well, here's the truth. The truth is that I cannot say one is definitively more accurate than the other. Because one's a 300 Win Mag, one's a 6.5 Creedmoor, and then on top of that, we used extremely small sampling of factory ammunition to test both of them. And so without doing hand loads or load development and tons of different factory ammunitions to find what just works just right, I can't definitively say one is actually inherently more accurate than the other. The Sako feels ergonomically better and is a heavier rifle, but both shoot excellently. Both are capable of half MOA easily. Hope you enjoyed this comparison of the Tikka T3x versus the Sako S20. Thanks for watching Bullets for Bucks. Check out this next video and subscribe.